I think we were together. We were all studying together, and my brother here started talking about, well, there's some prophecy in Daniel. And I turned to him, I said, what are you talking about? He said, no, it's so long now. I said, just tell me what chapter you're referring to. And then he goes, Daniel 8:14. If you watch my face, I went, oh. And I said, tell me. And then he said, I said, I didn't know something. So because this was exactly the 1967 is exactly 2,300 years after the Greek Empire defeated the Persian Empire, to the day. Therefore, in 1948, Daniel 8:14 would not allow the Jews to penetrate this. Because all the great successes we have only is Hashem and a clock. It's time to go, but not here. And we're not going to walk there now. I would show you areas along the wall from the outside. If we would go on the outside there, you see areas where the Haganah went to South Africans who were experts in explosives, and they were Zionists who came here and they were experts in explosives. And they asked them to blow through this whole wall. Now, you can only imagine to blow through 10 feet of limestone, to blow through all this wall would require, it's not someone using an M80. This would require someone who really knows how to. And they couldn't do it, or the bombs just wouldn't go off. They would say, here we go, boom, trip, and nothing. Because it was not on Hashem's clock. 1967, our enemies run before you. In fact, in the whole war of 6-7, little more than 600 Jews died in that war, and mostly it was to conquer the Golan Heights. But we lost so many in other wars, but here, it's only what Hashem gives into your hands. This is what Ross keeps emphasizing. Hashem makes a promise to you, and that is the promise that I will bring you back, but it's at a certain time. It's in that time, it's according to my don't make calculations of your own, because if you do, I'm not going to be with you. When the right moment comes, I'm going to bring you to the land that you did not know. Let's go inside.
Wait, 1 second. Some of you didn't hear that thing we talked about that night. I can do it in 2 minutes. Ready? In 1825, a Methodist minister by the name of Adam Clark is studying the prophecies in Daniel chapter 8. Daniel chapter 8 verse 14 talks about a 2,300 day and night period during which, at the end of which, the holy place will be vindicated. Nizkahu, I believe, is that right? It says that it's going to be vindicated. So this Methodist minister, 1825, said, I have to figure out when it came into enemy hands, and since that time it's not been in the hands of the people of Israel. All right? So what he did was he looked back into history and he discovers that in 334 BCE, a man by the name of Alexander the Great, some of you may have heard of him, comes into Jerusalem, and from that day forward, he determines that other than brief periods of autonomy, not much, he counts forward, but he makes a mistake in math. All right, he doesn't realize that going from BCE to the CE, there's no 0 year. You have 1 BCE, you're in the first year of the Common Era. So he says in 1825, he simply does the math, he adds 2,300, and in his commentary, he says in 1966, the Jews are going to regain control of Jerusalem. My friend Dr. James Tabor, and my teacher, sees this in a commentary as a young college student. And he looks at it and he says, wow, this is pretty cool. And he says that he even tells people that he knows, and they're like, we don't have long to see that won't come to pass. So he digs, and later he finds out that the date on the Olympiad calendar is Artemisius the 28th. On Artemisius the 28th, Alexander the Great moves in and takes Jerusalem, basically. All right? So, Artemisius 28 corresponds to a calendar date that we're familiar with. June the 7th. June the 7th, 334 BCE, if you add 2,300 days to it, right, because a day is equal to a year, he uses biblical thought processes when he approaches tackling this prophecy. And to the day, if you've ever seen the movie It's in Our Hands, when they're on the radio and the troops and there's a last-minute decision, and through Lion's Gate, they, against all odds, they're saying it's in our hands. That happens exactly, I believe, to the minute. So Dr. Tabor goes in and he discovers through ancient literature that this is precisely at the same time that the Israelite soldiers are standing in that holy place. Now, was the temple rebuilt? Was it that? No, but the idea is that they've begun the holy work of restoration. So Dr. James Tabor says, look, it's the beginning of the end, if you understand biblical prophecy. Eschatos, the end of days, began. Something great and miraculous happened then. So that's the, if you need me to write that down, the dates, you can look it up. It's verifiable.
Let's go inside.
All right.